Hello and welcome back. Today we are checking on our grape wine, just grape wine. This time, definitely no spices, just grapes. And by grapes, I mean, of course, grape juice. Essentially, we have a wine that I think, sitting with it now for 2 months, just under 2 months. Essentially, when we started, we used a Lalvin 71B yeast. I have my notes, of course, here. We used, of course, sugar, 4 liters of wine, and the starting gravity was 1.102. Now this is a fairly high gravity, but on point on the level of the yeast, because the yeast 71B has alcohol tolerance of 14%, and we already checked the gravity twice, and we already racked this wine actually. And when we did, or before we did, we made sure the gravity is low enough, because gravity dropped all the way to 1.002. Okay, so if we invent without the calculator, it's fairly easy, because it's 100 points of gravity that dropped times 131.25 equals, well, 13.25% alcohol. Of course, we are not, scientists here. It's an all approximation. So alcohol within this brew is roughly between 13 to 14% alcohol, with the yeast tolerance up to 14%. It's perfect wine to bottle. But before we bottle, before we make any decisions, we want to check on the wine. We want to see how it tastes. And not to drink it, because it's still fairly young. It's only 2 months old. It may be decent already, but it definitely can get better. What we want to do, we want to taste it to make a decision on the next steps. Usually the next steps would be either bottling or first back sweetening. We like our wine sweet. So it's definitely worth on checking and making the decision. So let's get a little bit into our glass. I'm not sure if you can see, but it's fairly clear. It's actually quite nice. Let's check the aroma. Again, very grape juice like, something that we are quite used to. And now the taste. Very good. I mean, for the 2 months, very good, right? It can still sit. The positive is that it sat for a while. It was racked, so there is no sediment almost on the bottom. That's already a good sign. And it degassed already quite a bit. It's still a little bit of gas, so it still, if it sits a bit longer, it will degas even better. But majority of the gas is gone, which is naturally very, very good. And it is dry. It's just very dry. It's 1.002, which is really dry. Normally, we prefer our wines of gravity, 20 or higher points to make it much sweeter. But yeah, I'm not sure if we should back sweeten, to be honest. It's kind of nice. It has a potential, right? Again, I want to let it sit longer, and I want to make sure before we drink it, it sits, because again, it is a young wine. We're not supposed to drink it in 2 months, right? Yeah, I will ask for a second opinion, because it's I am torn. On one side, I really want the sweet wine, but on the other side, I really enjoy how it is, and I know it will even get better from now on, which I'm really torn. And we already have one wine that even today we actually bottled. It's a dry wine that we have, and it's even drier than this. I think it was 0996. Unfortunately, there is no video of it. Not all the wines we do is on the camera. But maybe we'll do tasting another time or something like that. So, we have one dry wine already. So maybe it's worth back sweetening just because of that. Babe, do you want to try? Ooh, that's the reaction. Ooh. Yeah. And it's only 2 months old, right? So it's only gonna get better from now on. That's definitely worth mentioning. Weird thing, because even if it's dry, but it tastes so sweet for a dry wine. Tastes sweet, you say? Yeah. Hmm. Right. So in your mind, it tastes sweet, even though it's zero zero two. That I associate. Yeah. Maybe. I think I like this more than the other dry wine. This more than the other dry we just racked today? Yes. Wow. This one is less dry. So maybe that's why, because the other one is more dry. That the one that is not on the video. This is my dry wine, the other one is yours. So do you want to leave it dry, or do you want to pasteurize and then back sweeten? You want to leave it? Yes, I think we're just going to leave it. I mean, my husband has a final say in the end. So yeah, I mean, for 2 months old, I'm really surprised. I expected it to be still more gassy. This is the wine for any of you who are in Germany. It's Dabur, or no, it's Debur. This grape juice or this juices from the Bura actually, I think quite a good quality overall. The juices themselves taste really nice, and so obviously the wines will also be decent, right? So if any of you are in Germany and you didn't try the Bur, definitely worth, and it's not sponsored, of course. So it's definitely worth it. Um, and yeah, in this case, because last time we did the wine, we did a wine with the EC111A yeast. This one is 71B yeast. So this one is different yeast, different tolerance alcohol. Do you taste any difference between E71B and EC1118? No? We're not such a connoisseurs in the end of the day, we're just the home brewers. Um, I think there is a difference, but also it's a different juice we're trying. So that's main difference in here in this case. Mm, I really like it. I really do. I think it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be great. Again, it has way to go. It's not meant to be drank that young. We're not drinking it that young. We're tasting and making decision. We bottle it. I think we bottle it. As I mentioned, it could degas a little bit more, but it degassed 98% already, which is good enough for me to actually bottle it at a point. We could just leave it and lay around in the fermenter, but I have some other ideas for other wines, I think, and I really want to free up some fermenters. We don't have unlimited amount of them, although we do have a lot of them. I don't know how many exactly, but it's quite a lot, taking up a whole room. But yeah, we need more, so I will definitely bottle it. And yeah, I will show you the process. Right, the racking process is very, very simple. Right, all we need is I have my bottles in here. You probably can't see them. It's essentially a beer bottles, right? Very straightforward, very simple. And we have our racking cane with our bottling wand. Now, the benefit of the bottling wand is you can simply attach it to the end, like so. Oh, very simple. Doesn't look simple, but I make it look difficult, but it's not. Now it's attached, and when I start the rocking cane, there is a valve in the end. Now when the valve is pressured, the wine will flow. When it's not, it will stop. And so it makes it really easy to bottle the wine because I just put the bottom you want, pressure it on the bottom, and it starts filling the glass from the bottom up. And when it's done, I just pick it up and the wine stops flowing. It's really, really easy, really, really simple. You don't oxidate the wine, you prevent leakage, you prevent the wine from escaping and making a mess. It's really easy and really straightforward way. I would really suggest for everyone who doesn't have to invest if you're making wines or, fairly often or even, every now and then, it's still worth it. Nevertheless, let's get to it. I put my bottling wand in the beer. Well, that's a mess. I need to untangle it. Oh, there you go. One end goes in, and this goes in here in the wine, and we just pump it, pump it, pump it, pump it. There we go. Done. And now the bottles you can't see are being filled. When it goes all the way up, I take the bottle you want and put into another bottle. That's one. Very simple. Filled. Few more to go. There we are. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bottles. All of them full. This one, a little bit way to go, but basically full as well. And yeah, this is our wine. We decided to make it dry. We'll definitely do a tasting video in the near future. by near future, I mean probably 6 months or 1 year. We want to let it sit. All of the bottles definitely won't survive that long, but we'll definitely keep at least one. And yeah, consider subscribing, liking, a comment if you have any questions, or you would like to suggest any wines to do. I would love to hear any suggestions. I was lately thinking about picking dandelions, but can't seem to find any at the moment. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and see you next. Bye.